flavor with a little bit of contemporary. We also have with us their manager, Adam Shipley, over here on the left. They're going to play a couple songs for us and then answer some questions that the rest of you would like to know. So enjoy.
How's everybody doing out there? Like my man said, we're the Soul Rebels from New Orleans, Louisiana. I'll take this minute to introduce the members to everybody. On the trumpet tonight, we have Mr. Tannen Williams, Loyola alumni. On the trombone, we have Mr. Paul Robertson, Xavier University, St. Augustine. We have Mr. Derek Oops Moss on the bass drum from Southern University. On the snare drum, we have Mr. Floyd Gray, y'all. Give it up for him. On the tuba, we have Mr. Edward Lee. Tuba, the bass. I'm Ryan Williams on the tenor saxophone. We're going to do a couple of numbers for you right here. I'll start it off with a little bit of footprints. My man has the hand clap going. I think we could get a little hand clap going right here. Come on.
Thank you. Little footprints.
For the rebel, funky rebel. I hear you, Floyd. Whoa, whoa, whoa.
I do it for the rebel.
Whoa,
I do it for the rebel.
for the rebel.
Oh, do it for the rebel.
Whoa,
I do it for the rebel. I do it for the rebel.
Rebel. It's about to get funky now.
Oh, come on.
It's about to get funky now.
Come on, come on.
It's about to
Get
get
funky
funky
here.
now.
It's about to get funky now. Come on, come
You
on.
know, it's about to get funky here. It's about to get funky now.
Come on, come on.
Doing it on funky, rolling all the time.
Come on, come on.
Just let the soul rebels, baby, blow your mind.
Oh, yeah.
If you wanna come join
Yeah,
us
yeah.
and have a good time.
Come on, come
Just
on.
leave it to the rebels and we'll blow your mind. Funky rebels,
Oh,
funky rebels,
oh,
funky, 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 funky rebels, funky rebels. Oh, doing it on funky, rolling all the time. Just let the soul rebels, baby, blow your mind. If you wanna come and join us and have a good time, just leave it to the rebels and we'll blow your mind. Funky rebels, funky rebels, funky, 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 funky rebels. Funky rebel, 40, 40, 40 on the left, 40 on my right, 40 on my left, 40 on my right, 40 on my left, 40 on my right, 40. 40 on my left, 40 on my right, 40 on my left, 40 on my right, 40 on my left, 40 on my right, 40.
It's a party all
We
night.
can party all night.
We can party all night.
We can party all
We
night.
can party all night.
You can party all night.
We can party all night.
We can party.
We can party all night.
We can party all night.
We can party all night.
We can party all
We
night.
can party all night.
Party all night.
Yeah, 1, 2, 2, 2, 2. 1, 2, 2, 2, 2. Is everybody doing good? All right. Is everybody doing all right? Everybody's doing okay. We're doing all right so far? Yeah, that was a tune entitled Funky Rebels, part 3, I think. I mean, we have like about 50 different parts of the song. So we're going to do one more, and we're going to take a couple of questions. We got back here. Oh, come on now. All right, all right. I guess you could call that was 3 examples of what we do up here with the Soul Rebels. I mean, we do standards, traditional New Orleans music. We have our own originals. We do covers, everything, anything you could name. It's all a part of our flow, I guess you can say. I think we're going to take this time out to open it up for any questions anybody might have. Any questions? Right here. Mhm. Anybody want to answer?
You taking avenues? Well, I think what makes us different is what he just said. We take a little bit more of a little bit of everything, a bigger representation of the gumbo of Louisiana. We take the contemporary, we take our own flavor, we take the R&B, the hip hop, the country. We got a little bit of everything, and we try to incorporate it all together. So basically, that's the main thing we really do that makes us different.
And in addition to that, education, man. All of us have formally studied music in some form or another. Did y'all hear me? The educational part. These guys can read and write music.
All right, we're gonna open up to questions at the end, so we're just gonna do, some formal at the beginning. So, how and when did you guys first get together?
I'm the oldest one up here, so we started in 1991 as the Young Olympia brass band, and after a couple of years, we realized we needed to start our own name and our own business so we can be more in control of our destiny. And once we mastered the traditional aspect of it, we wanted to move into more funky type of music, hip, soul, R&B. We did reggae, gospels, any form of music. So we had to start our own and then to have more control and make a little more money, keep it in-house.
So yeah, the sound you're talking about, it's very unique. So who influenced you guys coming up?
In the beginning, our biggest influence was most likely Earth, Wind and Fire, and all of the guys had different bands, and that's from the beginning. But then as these guys came in, everybody can tell you their own influence.
Do you want to just pass it down?
I keep it simple. I listen to everything. I mean, it don't matter what it is. I'm a music lover, so I love any type of music, any type of genre, anything that'll build me up as a better musician. I'll listen to it.
Same thing as me. I pretty much listen to everything because, like, if you don't listen to other things, it keeps you kind of blindsided to other things. So you just got to keep yourself open, and it also help you to express just other thoughts and ideas and thought process in music.
Same thing here, everything. Early influences were Louis Armstrong, Clyde Kerr. I studied with Clyde Kerr when I was a student here, and just keeping it going.
Everything? Everything. That's it, everything.
I guess I'm gonna have to agree. I listen to everything also.
That's what enabled us to fuse all of these different styles together. Because if you never heard it, you don't know what to do with it. So we listen to everything and make a smooth transition from one phase to the other, and that's where it stems from.
So you guys were talking about the other brass bands in the area. What's the relationship between you guys? Is it like a playful?
We're all cool. We're all friends.
Yeah, all family.
Off the stage. On stage, we'll blow their ass out.
All right, this one's for Adam. How did you begin to manage the Soul Rebels, and did your experience at Tipitina's affect that at all?
Yeah, absolutely. I've Started running and booking tips in '98, but just known the band forever and booked them at Tipitina's and established a strong relationship. And along the way, I would give them, just different business advice because I think it helps all bands and New Orleans bands if they have a good business side to it. Plus, respected them; they were friends. So, and the main thing with management, the number one thing is trust. So when it finally got to a position where I had the time and ability to manage them, is when we sat down and started talking, and it just kind of went on from there. But it was years of building the relationship up to that point.
From the business standpoint, do you want to explain what else you've done in the city, around the city, in the music scene?
As far as me personally here?
Yeah.
Yeah. I came to New Orleans. My first Jazz Fest was '89, when you all were however old. I just, probably like a lot of you will be, sucked into the city and fell in love with it. And I was in the music business in Orlando. And my last thing there was running House of Blues, and I just couldn't handle the corporate atmosphere. And a friend of a friend knew the owner of Tips, and so I came here and started running and booking Tipitina's, and then worked with the Tipitina's Foundation, left there in 2007. I've always had my own company, Epcat, where I've done music consulting and management. And after Tips, I actually taught the managing music business enterprises here for a semester. And then I was at Preservation Hall for about 2 years, managing the club and managing the band. And then I just decided it was time to be my own boss for good. And that's when I decided to start working with the Rebels and working on other music projects in town. I book the OZ stage at Voodoo Fest, the Harvest of Music series in Lafayette Square that's going on now, and then just sell to different clients. But my main concentration is these guys. I co-manage with a great guy out of Boston named Ted Curlin, who owns a great jazz agency, and his agency also books the band nationally and internationally.
Speaking of internationally, how did you go from a local band with such a local feel to touring internationally?
I guess I'll take that one. I think New Orleans is, to me, probably the only city where you can go anywhere in the world and you say New Orleans and people smile and they've heard of it, they get it, whatever. I mean, we may not be the music business city like a Nashville or an Austin, but I think, pound for pound in talent, we're the most talented musically oriented city in the world, hands down. So there's always been a big international demand, and people come in for Jazz Fest and all that. So I just think they see that, and this music plays great everywhere. So, well before I was with them, I just know that, through different entities, brought them overseas from, Africa to Brazil to Europe to, everywhere in between. We just got back from a Jazz Fest in Brazil in Ouro Puerto, and you could just, those people really, really get it, but you can just feel it, and there's a high demand for it. And like a lot of the bands here, to really make a living at this, you have to leave town. This is always home, but you have to tour and leave town, and there's a big scene internationally.
Do you guys change the show at all for international shows, or just keep it the same?
We have. It's different. It's different shows for different people. I think it's the collective vibe between each of the members. We could literally sit and look, and we'll just stare at the stage, stare out at the crowd for about 15 to 20 minutes, and just walk around to each other like, all right, what you want to play? What you want to play? What you want to play? And it varies from different venues. You can have some people, they're sitting down, it's a nice jazz club, everybody's suit and tie and everything. But, you could be amongst you guys, college kids, and you're ready to party, we don't, it varies from gig to gig, though.
How do you guys market to foreign countries and build such a large fan base that you're playing festivals, playing shows overseas?
Okay. Now it's easier. Thank God for that interweb thing. That it just makes it a lot easier for everybody to see your music. But one of the keys is a good agency, and like I said, we're with Ted Curlin now, and they've got some great clients: Wynton Marsalis, Stanley Clark, Chick Corea, Sonny Rollins, on and on. So that's one of the the big keys for us as far as really being able to get the gigs over there, besides people seeing it here, is whether it's the Curlin agency or any agency that sells overseas, they get trusted by these promoters, and if the agent says, okay, hey, we have this new band you have to check out, then they're going to listen to them, and the band's got to be able to back that up. But it's like whatever, like 90% of this business, it's connections and being able to get out to the people. Like I said, the internet's a huge help now. Back in the day, when I was a kid, you had to, mail out packages and all of that stuff. Now you can just send a link, so it definitely, makes a difference.
All right, getting back to the music, can you tell us about the second line and the jazz funerals and how those affect your show? Because I was reading on the website, it's all about that.
Basically, we did that like in the earlier stages of the band. There were countless numbers of times when, Sundays would be second lines and stuff like that, and the band would go out there and do performances. But like Oop said, after a while it just got tiresome, going out there consistently, being in the heat, dealing with the violence sometimes. It's just not really worth it. And then the type of caliber of musicians that we really have, I don't want to say we got too big for the street, but I mean it just wasn't something that we really wanted to do anymore. So that's when we started doing a lot more stage gigs and announcing our stage presence. Fortunately, we were lucky enough to have the people respect our music, and it was a fighting battle for a long period of time, because a lot of people from New Orleans or the New Orleans area didn't really understand the brass band music incorporated with funk, hip hop, stuff like that. They call it brass hop or brass funk or stuff like that. So it was really hard for a while to get that accompanied to the people in New Orleans. So I mean, after a while, we just didn't really care anymore. I mean, it's either you can respect our music or you just keep rolling. And luckily enough, everybody did. And I mean, that's why we're the success that we really are today.
Can you guys explain to everyone how you started playing, when you started playing, what got you interested in music, like playing your instrument specifically?
I started playing when I was in second grade, and like the thing that kind of got me into music was just like listening to it. Always would like find some kind of way to like be part of it some kind of way. If it was like just beating on like pots and pans or just trying to like hum something to it. But I remember getting my first instrument from Whirlines, and it just kind of like picked up from there, and just like it just really started like after high school. Like I never thought that my talent would have me doing this as a profession at first. But just seeing it and putting good hard work into it, and then you get to see the fruits of your labor, and it's pretty much self-running and it's self-explanatory. But music is pretty much life. Gotta love it.
I started playing music when I was young in church, because my dad, he used to play. He was an organist at church, and I started playing drums. And then once I got to like junior high school, I started getting into brass music, and then I started meeting a lot of these guys and getting gigs. That's basically how I started.
Well, my mom said I was beaten before I could walk on the pots and pans, pulling them out with the spoon. So I've been beaten all my life. And I started formally learning how to study music in elementary school, and it carried on through junior high, high school. I was in concert band at McMain and went on to be in the marching band at Fort Shea, and that got me experience to go on to become drum major at Southern University for 4 years. I was in college. And after that, I was just wondering, is this it? It's over? And I couldn't live without it. So I just kept wanting to play. I got into percussions, and I wanted to play percussions in a group, but I got in town and hooked up with a couple of my frat brothers who were in the Young Olympia band, and it was back to marching band style of playing, which was easy for me, and I started on the bass drum and never looked back.
I beat the doctor with sticks when I came out the womb, so I mean it was natural for me. I played in elementary school, played snare drum, and the recorder, you know, the thing you have in third grade, the little flute-looking thing. So I started with that. Yeah, I started with that. I went from there to snare drum. I did snare drum for maybe like 4 or 5 years going into middle school. And then I saw that big silver thing that I've been playing ever since. And I just looked at it. I was like, well, yeah, I want to play that. I mean, it was really hard because a lot of people didn't want to pick up that instrument. I mean, being in middle school, 7th and 8th grade, you know, most guys would just want to stick to, you know, something smaller. Played that through middle school, played that in high school. I went to St. Augustine High School. Edwin Hampton was my band director. I played that for 4 years. And then he went to 35, y'all, so don't pay no mind to him. After St. Aug, I went to Jackson State for a year and a half, and I played tuba in the college as well. And I was just like, oops, after that, I was finishing up with the marching band stage. I didn't really want to do that anymore. So I'm like, is that pretty much it? I mean, not too many people have gigs playing tubas, you know, unless you're doing a concert, philharmonic orchestra, stuff like that. So I was just like, I wanted to keep it going. So that's when I got introduced in the brass band a little bit more, because I've been doing that since about middle school or high school. But got incorporated with the brass band. I've been rocking and rolling with it ever since. So. Shut up.
Yeah. I started off trumpet in 4th grade. My dad actually bought the trumpet for my brother, but he decided he wanted to play drums, and it got passed to me. So I stayed with it middle school, first marching band at Livingston Middle School, 35. Yes, 35. Went there, then Herman Jones, who also graduated from Loyola, influenced me to come here, so I came to Loyola, and that's when I kind of started to branch out in all the different styles. I did a couple of shows, Guys and Dolls, Annie, all those type things. Then got involved with the brass band thing, and that's how I'm here.
Let's see. I really think it's in my blood that I wound up here today. I mean, I started in the 4th grade, like I would say, I started on the little flutophone thing in the 3rd or 4th grade, and it was crazy because it's like my whole family is pretty much musicians. My mom is an organist. My aunt is an organist. My niece graduated from Loyola here and was a music major. She plays flute. My cousin plays piano. I have another cousin. His name's Kermit Ruffins. Plays trumpet. And I've been fortunate enough to be in several different great organizations. I played in elementary school. I started on saxophone in the 4th or 5th grade. I went to the prestigious St. Augustine High School. I was a member of the Marching 100.
Don't let them influence you on that.
You know, I was a drum major at St. Aug. I graduated in 2001. From there, I went on to Xavier University. I graduated with my Bachelor's of Arts in Music Liberal Arts. And during my time in college, I was like, okay, what am I gonna do? Am I gonna play classical music? Am I gonna play jazz? Am I gonna play big band? It's not too many big bands here in New Orleans. I mean, that was my thing in college, but I got into brass bands, and I've been here ever since about '04. So, and I've been in this band since about 2005.
From your experience, how did Katrina affect the music scene in the city, and how did the band rebound after such devastation?
Well, basically, it split us up. We were all over America, and no one played. We hadn't even seen or heard from each other. Well, we talked on the phone, but we hadn't played for how long? It was like 6-8 months. And until the girl who was booking at Le Bon Ton Relais, where we play every Thursday night, called us.
Shameless
and
plug.
basically basically begged us to come and play, and we had to contact each other and see if who could make it and who couldn't. And but we put it together and finally came to town, and they didn't even have electric. They were running off generators, and the whole city was pitch black. And I was wondering when I got off the interstate, what the hell are we doing here? And but when I turned off Napoleon on the magazine and drove up, I saw a little light. And when I got to that corner, it was lit up. Oops. And when I got to that corner where the club is, it was packed. The whole street was full of people, and it blew my mind. So we had to go there, and we started off with a traditional jazz funeral for the city, and people still talk about it now. It was awesome, and we've been playing every week there since.
All right. Anyone have any questions? You want to step up to the microphone, just so. It's behind.
I was curious about the songwriting process for such a group like this, particularly how you've challenged ownership issues. I have a trio, and we're just getting into who owns what, who owns this part of the song, who gets this percentage. How have you guys wrestled with that issue? I'm sorry.
Well, basically, the way we come up with music is probably different from any other band you might know. There are some instances where one guy may come with a tune already ready to go and feed it to us, and that'll be his song that we get a few points on or percentages later for our input. But basically that person will be the controlling interest person for that song. But a lot of songs that we do are created on the spot. We come up with stuff on stage or after a gig or on a break. Somebody might play something. He might just come in with a bass line. I'll put a beat to it, and those guys, the horn players, listen, and they just start thinking of something to go with that. And it happens right there. The next day, it's a new song on the next gig. So for a song like that, we all collectively get equal parts in something like that. Depends on how much you bring to the song.
Hi, so where do you guys like to go in New Orleans to listen to music when you're not playing shows and whatnot?
I'm a Frenchman Street lover. Me, I go on Frenchman Street any Friday, Saturday, Sunday. It's not really hard to find me. Kermit Ruffins, he plays over there a lot. Got different rock bands, Gravity A, and I can't really name everybody because it's just too many artists, too many local artists. Oh, and that's a reminder. Please support local music. For real, because we're starving musicians, but at the same time we're starving musicians, literally. So,
you're only so starving, Edward, but
well, I'm a big man. I'm a big man. I get it in, but still, for real. Support your local musicians. Like I said, that's my spot, Frenchman Street. I'll hang there anytime.
For me, it's wherever I'm going to be, wherever we're playing at, I wind up listening to whoever. Other than that, I don't really go out too much. I listen to the XM radio, get it in that way.
Well, like I said, I hang on Frenchman Street like almost every night. Pretty much, it's not too hard to find me. I'm always down there. There's a bunch of different clubs, a whole bunch of different genres and everything. Anything from Snug Harbor to jazz, and you got the DBA, the Blue Nile, Apple Barrel, Spotted Cat, all those different places. It's not too hard to find good music around here. In these parts, it's all over the place. So, but as for me, I'm Frenchman Street all the way.
Same here. I'm pretty much. You catch me hanging out on Frenchman Street. It's like the old Forrest Gump movie. It says it's like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're gonna get. So, but yeah, Frenchman Street area, man, it's just a spot. You catch some great legendary acts, some acts that you haven't seen ever in life before. But it's pretty much the place to be.
All right, well, I got to give a plug for Uptown, Tipitina's, Maple Leaf, Bon Ton on Thursday night. Shameless plug again.
Nobody care where you go, Adam. Come on.
Yeah, I'm just saying. Someone's got,
You're too old.
It's going to be like that, is it? I got you.
That's the way it is.
Well, it seemed like for the musicians and the real people that's really into music, the Frenchman Street is our Bourbon Street.
Hey, I know sometimes emotions can kind of run high sometimes. So how do you all like lift and encourage each other as far as like when something happens to another person, or if if someone gets in an argument, is there like a system that you all do that try to help each other?
Yeah, we got a system. Either you'll be down with the program or you'll be out. But basically, if you in a group, we spend a lot of time together. So we don't have to. The main thing is we got to respect each other first of all, and even if you don't like something or somebody, that's personal. Keep that to yourself. Let's do our job, and if you have a problem with somebody, just go separate ways, like any other job. But being in a band is personal. We have to spend a lot of hours together, riding in vehicles together, in hotel rooms, sometimes rooming together. So basically, you got to have people that you can work with and last with, because if you can't do that, it's going to fall apart.
So, what are your long-term goals for the band?
There it is.
Grammy and world domination.
The Grammy.
And some cash.
Yeah, cash. Nothing else really matters. If you're not really into this for that ultimate goal, it's like with sports, NBA championship, or Super Bowl, or Stanley Cup. That's the ultimate goal for us to win a Grammy. Nothing else matters.
I think on that note, and like, I guess the first question talking about the difference between the Rebels and other brass bands is, I'm on the management and pitching side and all that, and the line that I consistently use is brass band music is part of what they play. They happen to be a brass band by structure, but the brass band music's part of what they play. They play hip-hop, rock, R&B, a lot of stuff in between, while the other brass bands, while they're great, I love them, it's brass bands, and the music that they'll play, it'll be a brass band interpretation. So I think that's where there's a big difference, and due to that, I think a much better chance, although there's a lot of politics obviously with Grammys, but I think there's a lot better chance because of the diversity of this band.
I'd like to add to that the main goal for me, and I think for a lot of people, should be making a decent living, being able to support yourself and do the things you like by doing something that you love to do. And I'm saying that now because even right now, as I sit here, I still maintain a full-time job at Sewage and Water Board. And the day is coming where I'm going to have to walk away from that. And but for 19 years, I've been doing them both. And the music is what I love to do. And so to be able to maintain my my lifestyle, just playing music is an ultimate goal. To do what you love to do for full time, yeah, and to support yourself and your family. I can't wait for that day too. To walk away from the daytime job.
All right. My question is, like, what do you think is the best thing about New Orleans for like a new artist or new band or anything? Like, what's the main advantage of having a band starting in New Orleans? So.
Like that. I think it's. I don't know if it's any one thing. I mean, one of the things is if you truly are a band that develops out of here and you have the goods, because that is what there's a ton of musical competition here as far as you have to be on your game to really be that band from New Orleans and starting out from here, although it's one of the most welcoming music communities I've ever seen. From Orlando years ago, and it was everybody was in their own band. It was competition, whereas started coming here, and it was like, okay, this is my one band. These are my two other bands. So it's everybody is very encouraged to jam and play, and I think to jam with each other. But I think if you truly develop as that band out of here, it gives you credibility by being from New Orleans because it's such a well-respected musical city. And the other part, as hopefully you all are doing, is getting your business knowledge on as well, because unfortunately New Orleans has really been known for not having good music business acumen, and I think that's definitely changing, but it definitely needs more work, and hopefully this program helps that as well.
All right, well, these guys are going to be at Tipitina's on Friday.
We're going to be at Tipitina's on Friday, and I'm going to have some flyers to pass out there, more shameless plugs. Yeah.
Doesn't need to be shameless. They were the first show I saw in New Orleans. They blew me away. The only way to describe it is an all-out party. I mean, you dance for, it must have been 3.5 hours. It's amazing. Go. You have no excuse. Be there at Tipitina's Friday night.
There we go. Every Thursday at the Bonton. Here's another thing that you have to have with band is merchandising and little promo stuff. So these are Soul Rebels beads we're going to throw out a little bit. And, you also have the Soul Rebel, So that is key when you're with the band is, it's kind of twofold. Obviously, everybody loves something for free in the case of the beads, but also just getting your name out there. It's crucial that you have, when you're on the roads and at gigs, T-shirts and CDs and all of that. Besides getting your name out there, it's a real good way to bring in income as well. Facebook, Twitter, whatever else you guys do on that part.
All right, guys. Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you.